Jacob lay on his deathbed. His breaths were shallow, each one a struggle. He knew his time was near, the end of his long journey approaching. Years had passed since he had last seen his beloved son, Joseph, who had been taken from him. Now, Joseph had returned to his side in Egypt, a land far from their home. He brought with him his two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, hoping for a final blessing. Joseph longed for his father to bless them before he passed, a tradition of their people.
Joseph, bring your sons to me. Let me see them one last time.
Jacob had always been a man of great faith, a pillar of strength for his family. He knew the weight of his words, the impact they would have on future generations. He understood the power of blessings, a sacred act passed down through the ages. This moment, the blessing of his grandsons, held immense significance for their lineage.
Come closer, my grandsons. Let me lay my hands upon you.
Jacob summoned his remaining strength, his voice filled with determination. Joseph gently guided Ephraim and Manasseh closer to their grandfather, their eyes wide with wonder. Jacob's heart swelled with love, his eyes moist with tears. He saw in these boys the continuation of his lineage, the future of his dreams. They represented the future of his family, a legacy that would endure through time. The tent was still, a sanctuary of silence amidst the chaos of the world outside. The air was thick with anticipation, every breath held in suspense, every heartbeat echoing the unspoken tension. Outside, the sounds of Egypt faded away, the bustling life of the village becoming a distant memory. Only the hushed whispers of the family broke the silence, their voices barely audible, like the rustling of leaves in a gentle breeze.
Father, we are here, ready to receive your blessing.
Joseph watched his father intently, his eyes filled with a mixture of respect and curiosity. He understood the ancient traditions, the weight of history pressing down on this moment. He knew the elder son usually received the greater blessing, a tradition passed down through generations. Manasseh, as the firstborn, stood slightly taller than his brother, his posture reflecting his status. He held his head high, filled with youthful confidence, ready to embrace his destiny. Ephraim, the younger son, watched his grandfather with wide, curious eyes, absorbing every detail of this sacred moment.
Manasseh, stand tall. Ephraim, stay close. This is a moment you will remember forever.
Jacob's gaze lingered on his grandsons. He saw their innocence. He saw their potential. His fingers trembled slightly, feeling the weight of his decision. He reached out to touch their faces, his touch gentle and filled with love. The touch of their skin brought back a flood of memories, each one a testament to the passage of time. He thought of his own sons, the trials they faced and the bond they shared. He remembered their rivalries and their love, the moments of conflict and the moments of reconciliation that defined their relationship. Joseph watched as his father prepared to bestow the blessing. The air was thick with anticipation, and the weight of generations seemed to hang in the balance. He subtly tried to guide Manasseh forward, his hand gently pressing against his son's back, urging him to step into his destined role. It was the natural order, the expected custom. This ritual had been performed countless times before, each generation passing the torch to the next. The firstborn son inherited the greater responsibility. It was a role that came with both honor and burden. The firstborn son carried the weight of the family's future. Every decision, every action would shape the destiny of those who came after. Joseph wanted to ensure that tradition was upheld. He felt the pressure of his ancestors' expectations, the need to honor their legacy. He wanted his father's blessing to fall upon Manasseh. It was more than a ritual. It was a sacred duty.
Father, Manasseh is ready. His voice was steady, but his heart raced with a mix of pride and anxiety.
Yet, as Joseph gently nudged Manasseh forward, Jacob's hand remained outstretched. The moment seemed to stretch on forever. His fingers seemed to hover in the air, as if caught between two worlds. He paused, a look of deep contemplation upon his face. It was as if he was searching for something unseen. His eyes, though clouded with age, seemed to see beyond the physical realm. They held a wisdom that transcended time. Joseph felt a knot of confusion tighten in his chest. Doubt began to creep into his mind. He wondered what his father was thinking. What could be causing this hesitation? He questioned what lay behind his father's intent gaze. There was a depth to it that he couldn't quite understand. Jacob, guided by an unseen force, crossed his arms. His right hand, the hand of blessing, moved towards Ephraim. He placed it gently upon the younger son's head.
Father, are you sure? Manasseh is the elder.
Jacob looked at his son. His eyes held a deep knowing.
I know, my son, I know. He will be great, but his younger brother will be greater than he, and his descendants will become a multitude of nations.
Joseph, though initially surprised, bowed his head in acceptance. He trusted his father's wisdom. He knew his father wouldn't act without divine inspiration. In that small tent, the future unfolded. Jacob's blessing was not merely words, it was a powerful declaration. He spoke of Ephraim's descendants becoming a multitude of nations. He bestowed upon him a legacy that would echo through time. Ephraim, young and innocent, looked up at his grandfather with awe. He felt the weight of the blessing settle upon him. Manasseh, witnessing this unexpected turn of events, stood quietly. He showed no sign of jealousy or resentment. He accepted his grandfather's words with grace. The brothers embraced, their bonds strengthened by this shared moment of blessing. Joseph, filled with emotion, watched his sons. His heart swelled with pride and gratitude. If you found this story meaningful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us share these powerful stories with more people. Thank you.